Well, it's finally time that Jacob goes to meet his maker. This is at the very end of Genesis chapter 49. As a matter of fact, it's just the last verse. What Jacob has done here, as we've talked about in some of the previous days, he's blessed his children. He's given really prophecies about a lot of them and what was to come in their lives, and even going down through the generations of how the tribes that they would be the founders of would prosper in what they would do. And so at the end of this, in verse 33, it says, when Jacob had finished his charge to his sons, he drew his feet into the bed, he breathed his last, and joined his ancestors in death. And really, this is kind of the end of the patriarchal era. You had Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know, we talk a ton about Joseph in the book of Genesis. But Joseph in the rest of the Bible is not talked about like Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. It's a little different. And so Jacob's kind of the end of that line of the original patriarchs. And so when he passes, an entire era of man's relationship with God passes, and we're transitioning now into what will go from being a family affair to a nation. Especially once we get over, we go another chapter over, we go another chapter over, and we find ourselves in Exodus chapter 1. So it's really a changing of the guard. And God's plan did not end, right? He starts with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, and he starts this plan. But just because Jacob is passed does not mean the plan ends. It's passed down. It's passed down through these sons. And it will continue to grow. And it will get to the point that what was promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, being this kingdom, this nation that would possess the land that those three men never got to see, will come to pass. So it's just another stage in God's plan. And see, God's always playing the long game, right? God's looking ahead. We so many times are caught up right in the moment of where we are. This family's like that. They get caught up right in the moment of where they are, the patriarchs. But God's looking down the road. That should give us comfort that God has a plan. He's looking forward. We might not understand or see it all, but there He is. We'll talk more about it tomorrow.